Good morning. I guess I'll take that.
Good morning.
That's better, thank you. Welcome to the Umpqua Unitarian Universalist Congregation on this first Sunday of October 2023 already. The leaves are beginning to change colors. The hot, dry temperatures of the summer are behind us. Yay. I'm Glennis Peterson. I wish to thank our greeters, Al and Mary Herring. Thank you. And I would like to draw your attention to the insert in your order of service where it lists all the upcoming events. Particularly, the announcement of the special congregational meeting on the 15th. It's going to be pretty important that we, as many of us, thank you so much, show up for that. So just notice the information about that meeting and anything else that we have coming up would be in those inserts. To help those in our community who suffer from food insecurity, we join with several Roseburg churches in support of the fish pantry. We will now collect your food or money donations for fish. Thank you, Lily and Sean, and thank you all for contributing to a wonderful cause. So welcome to all of those of you at home. We're so glad you're joining us. And as always, I'm ever grateful to our staff, Sean Shea, who plays wonderful music for us, Jake Tranter in the back, who makes sure that we have both sound and audio here, but also sends it out to YouTube. And for Genevieve Gonzalez for her special talents and skills in the office. And I especially want to express our appreciation for all of you for stepping up to the plate last week and for the extra support this week as we dealt with the sudden loss of one of our beloved members, Joe Messinger. Please take a moment, if you haven't already, to turn off your phone. It's kind of embarrassing for all when it goes off in the middle of meditation. So today our speaker is our lovely friend Donna Smith. And for those of you who don't know her yet, I will tell you more about her later. Spark of the Spirit, cupped in earth's embrace, light of love in all creation, as we kindle this flame, we rekindle our connection to the sacred web of life. Our opening words this morning are from Albert Einstein. The only reason for time is so that everything doesn't happen at once. Please rise in body or spirit and join us in singing number 347, Gather the Spirit.
With fires will kindle one flame.
fine voice this morning. Well, now comes the time in our service when we remember our joys or concerns with silent or spoken candlelighting regarding the significant milestones in our lives. I invite those who wish to light a candle, silent or spoken, to please form a line to the right, over this way, and those with spoken candles, please give your name and please be brief.
rise in the sea, moved in the hand, giving life the shape of justice. Roots hold me close, wings set me free. Spirit of life, come to me, come to me.
The offering is a sacrament of the Free Church. We are supported by the voluntary generosity of all who join us. The offering will now be given and received in grateful appreciation of our shared hopes and values.
From you I receive, to you I give. Together we share, and in this we live.
For the gifts we have received, may we be truly grateful. May we be committed to using these gifts to make a difference in the world and to expand our beloved community. And now, enjoy this morning's anthem with Sean Shea.
I would invite you to join me on the chorus of this. The words tell a very, very amazing story. It's our own story. And the chorus is very simple. Be free, be free. Just because the tracks are late, or just because your ticket's paid for, and some crazed conductor keeps on calling out your name, you don't need to board the train. No, you don't need to board the train. Trains of thought will come and go, but you are not your thoughts, you know. So why get all caught up in where they lead? You are who these thoughts are passing through. Don't you see? You are who these thoughts are passing through. Be free. Be free. Even when you're feeling frightened, sad, or hurt, or unenlightened, you can find a peace that underlies what passes by. Don't mistake the weather for the sky of your being. Don't mistake the weather for the sky. Feelings rise then fall away, even those you wish would stay. So why equate your sense of self with mood? You are who emotion passes through. Don't you see? You are who emotion passes through. Be free. Be free. What a blessing to have taken birth in this human form, with a chance to see that who we are was really never born, is always free, can never die. If destiny decides to strike some version of a script you like and make a melodrama of your endless cabaret, you know you can still enjoy the play. Yes, you can, if you're still and you know how to play. Just treat it like a mystery and view it from the balcony. Laugh and cry and stomp your feet, but don't believe a thing. You are who these scenes are passing through. You are who this play is passing through. Be free. Be free. In harmony. Be free. Be free. Be free. Be free.
Thank you so much, Sean. Well, and I would like to now introduce today's speaker, Donna Smith. She is a Unity Worldwide Ministry spiritual leader whose training focused on pastoral care. She is most happy when she can help others find peace and joy in their lives. She is also a Unity chaplain, a Taizé prayer leader and trainer, a Reiki master and practitioner, a nonviolent communication teacher, a student in and teacher of A Course in Miracles, and a teacher of the Way of Mastery. And she is active in our Cares and Concerns ministry. Donna? I'm going to take this so we don't mix them up.
Good morning. Really good to see you. Your smiling faces, look at you smile. Yay. All right. Well, I thought I would give you an update about Martha. She seems to be doing quite well. I kind of think she's probably not quite realized what has happened. But what I know for sure is she is so grateful for all the help that she's received. And that's been a lot from several of you. And I will go see her this afternoon after church to see how she's doing. I do know that we're keeping track of her blood pressure and all of that to make sure she's healthy. And so far, really good. In fact, I wish I had the blood pressure she has right now. It's really like very youthful. So I'm very grateful for all of that. But it's a journey, and sometimes it takes a while to realize what has actually happened. I know that she would love your phone calls, your cards, and even your visits. Probably just call before you go over, because she is very grateful for this community and all the support that we have given her. So that's for Martha. All right. Well, I've been speaking to you now for several months about our quantum powers. And, quantum power is that power of a raised consciousness from fear to love. That's all it is. So love is the only real power, and that's exactly what we are. And so when we raise our consciousness to what we are, just think of how blessed our life will be. Nothing can take these powers from us unless we give them up. And really, you still have them, but you just are not acknowledging them, and you're letting others use their power over you. So even though we have forgotten who we are, we can reach that awareness again by claiming those quantum powers, aka our divine powers. Humans have created time to have experiences. Jean Houston states, as human beings, we are multi-temporal by nature, and to explore the mystery of time within is to gain access to a universe larger than our aspirations, more complex than all our dreams. Now, contemporary Western societies tend to be rooted in a monochronic relationship to time. And one thing happens after another along this kind of arrow of time. Now, there are so many kinds of time. Personal time, biological time, sacred time, metaphysical time, cultural time, playtime, work time, sleep time, and the list just goes on and on. There are other time zones actually going on simultaneously. There are cultures that absolutely have nothing of what we would call past, present, and future. The Hopis do not even have these categories in their language. So, what time is it when an elephant sits on a clock? This is for you, Al. It's time to get a new clock. Yes. He thought I was going to go through without a joke. All right, so in polychronic, which means multiple time societies, time reveals itself. In monochronic societies like the Western ones that we are in, time is right there up front. Time is money, and time is the critical issue. Because you have time brokers, you have time managers, and you have time designers. That's impossible in other societies. When a polychronic society is trying to redesign itself as a monochronic society in order to become more like the Western world, time pathology is generally the result. All over the world, ancient cultures are breaking down because they're trying to be monochronic. But quantum physics reveals that time is not actually monochronic, and at the deep, subtle level, time has no direction. In the quantum world, all events can exist concurrently, and to all practical purposes, everything is correlating with everything else. So past, present, and future are occurring together. Now, Jean describes this recognition of our multiple streams of time as a great gift to our consciousness. She states that when you play with time and expand the horizons of multidimensional space, very interesting things happen. So have you ever had the experience where time did not follow this straight as an arrow view of what we think it should be? Yeah. One evening I was at a Course in Miracles meeting, gathering, and it was an exceptional lesson because that was the moment that I realized I had a choice. Now that might seem very trivial to you, but it was very important to me at that time because I never even thought about having choice. Choice to be angry or choice not to be angry. So I was so excited, and this meeting was just over the top. So we were so into the meeting that it went on quite late. And so I looked at my watch, I called my husband Jerry, and I said, I'm on my way. Now, it takes 30 minutes to get from my house, which was on Sans Souci, to Sue's house, which is clear across town, up north on a mountain. I was home in 10 minutes. It shocked me and it shocked my husband. How could that be? I was home in 10 minutes. On the way home, I remembered how I was so excited, I was somewhere else. I had entered this realm where time really didn't exist. And it played out by me getting home in 10 minutes. And so most of us would say in the physical world this is impossible. But in the quantum world, it is very possible. And I've heard other stories where people have arrived someplace when it was physically impossible, but it was so important for them to be there on time, and the universe just worked with them in that matter. Has that happened to any of you? Or you think I'm crazy? Well, in the kingdom of heaven, a.k.a. the quantum field, there is no time and space. And again, that's very hard to wrap our minds around, isn't it? And again, time and space were created by humans so that we could have experiences. One day I was driving home, I was driving to Steamboat Inn. I used to work there as their accountant. And I love to talk to the trees. That's what I do. I talk to trees and we exchange our vibrations and our energy. And I was so wrapped up in these trees because they always sent energy this way and I would just, tingle, and I love that drive and talking to the trees. All of a sudden, it was like the veil opened and I understood what no time and no space meant. And it was like, wow, it made so much sense. I have no idea how long I was in that, but when I came back, I was still driving up the river. But I cannot, in fact, we do not have any words for me to explain that. It was totally an experience. And it's something that, just like God, has to be an experience. How do you explain God? And so, it's those kind of things, and I think some of you have probably had them. You might not want to admit it. But those are those things that just give us those little bits and pieces of reality to help us keep going. Now, you can alter time. You do this by going into the quantum consciousness. And this is about the power of the mind, the power of envisioning. For instance, you can learn in, say, 2 minutes what would normally take an hour. You can do that. A friend of Jean Houston's, Peggy Rubin, was called at the last minute to play a role in this very difficult role as Linda Lohman in Arthur Miller's Death of a Salesman. The utter necessity of it all led to her to enter into her inner realm. And this is what Peggy said. She said, in that 24 hours, Jean, I found I was dancing with time. I had tons of time and yet none at all. And she learned that role in 24 hours. So I have this wonderful affirmation that I use, especially if I feel like I might be in a time constraint or something. And that is, time expands to meet my needs. And it will, if you truly believe it. It will. And as you know, for as long as I've been using that affirmation, I've never had to stay up late or stay up all night to finish a sermon. I have not had to do that, and I used to do that. So these things work. Not only that, you can go back in time to an event that maybe was not so happy and that you would like to change, and you can actually change it within your mind to an event that is happy. Now, when you do this, you change the event in your mind. That then changes the effect it has on your body and then on your life. You can release many things doing this, including any time that you've been back there in anger or resentment or shame or hurt. And it has been shown to be possible. I'm just not saying this. And what is really interesting, in one case that I was reading, the other people involved in that event started changing that event in their minds and in their description to match what you just did, what you just changed. Again, this has been shown as possible, and it has happened. Whoa. That's power, isn't it? How many of us have those kind of things in the past that we regret? Yeah. Okay. Well, right now I'm taking a class from Jean Houston, and I am participating in one of her exercises to go back and change a past. So when I was in junior high, I was kicked out of chorus because the instructor said I couldn't sing. Yes. Well, I did not sing for 50 plus years. I mean, I sang in the shower. Nobody was around, right? When nobody was around. But I would never sing in front of anybody. And so this exercise, I'm going to go back to that time, and I'm going to see that instructor saying, we're so happy you're here in the chorus, and, we enjoy having your singing, and you sing on key, and we're so happy, and just make it something like I really want. And so I'm doing that, okay? And I'm also envisioning I'm on stage singing to hundreds of people on key. And they're clapping, and they're liking it, right? So one thing I did, when I was in Florence a couple of weeks ago, I teach a class after the sermon. And I was telling them about this as part of the class messages that I was teaching that day. And so what did they do? They said, Donna, sing us a song. And so I did. I sang this song, and they liked it. Whoa, I'm on my way to changing that past event. It was fun. It was really fun. But you can actually do that, because if past, present, and future are concurrent, do you see how that's possible? All right? And because we're one, do you see how it could actually change the other people involved? You don't have to say a word. It just, the whole instance, because of the oneness of life, this can happen. Now, there have been many people who have played with time, entering the past and the future. For example, Hildegard of Bingen, who was born in the late 11th century, could get into states of mind wherein it would seem that she could receive the things that she was interested in a more advanced form, like music. She simply was not writing just the music for the 12th century. She was writing music that was several hundred years ahead of her time. Not only that, the same is true for her ways of approaching biology, botany, and so many other things. So where is this coming from? Think about Leonardo da Vinci. He also, as we know, entered into interesting states of meditation and had incredible ideas about submarines, helicopters, airplanes, and all manner of things. So what is he doing? Is he just enormously creative? Well, yes, he was very enormously creative, but he also was extremely present to future possibilities. And I think most of us know the history of Leonardo. So nature has offered us the great gift of stretching time to counteract the shortness of our lives. Indeed, working with time may be one of the greatest of all human capacities, and one that is essential to our development into the potential human, which is where we are moving right now. Because all of us, whether we really realize it or not, are moving into higher consciousness, and we're being supported and urged to do that by the different realms of life, especially the angels are coming down to help us. So this is where we're moving to. So how many of you have ever had a near-death experience? Nearly died? Okay. How many during that time saw your whole life, go by you? In a matter of a moment, your whole life flashes before you. So how is that possible? How is that possible? This time could speed up and show you your whole life. So time is not monochronic, okay? And time can slow down. I was in an automobile accident. My car was rolling several times. And what I remember was I was very calm. I said to myself, oh, I'm in an accident, and the car is rolling. Very matter of fact. And during that whole time, everything was in slow motion. I had time to put my hands out to protect my head and parts of my body from hitting the windshield or everything. It was wonderful. I was so totally calm until my mother came later. But the time slowed down for me so that I could protect myself. Has anyone here ever experienced slow motion time? Have you not? Yes. So what is that all about? Okay, so the time is not just straight as an arrow, and that's that. It is everything. It can be, the same thing at the same time. It can go backwards. It can go slower. It can speed up. It's amazing. It's just truly amazing. Here's something I know you'll like. Fascinating studies have shown that aging is not a fixed phenomenon. Okay? Now, we all know people who might be old before their time, or perhaps these sprightly older people that just seem to defy the ravages of time. We know those kind of people, don't we? What's the difference there? Well, there was this strictly controlled study that demonstrates that age is not a fixed phenomenon. One of the most interesting studies was done at Harvard by psychologist Ellen Langer. In the mid-1980s, she advertised in a Boston newspaper for people over the age of 75 to participate in an experiment. These people were taken to a retreat where the environment was created to replicate that in 1959. The furniture was of that time, they watched movies from that period, and even the news and reading material was from that period. They ate the food of that period and played the games and did activities that they did during that time. And the results were absolutely remarkable. Within a week, the actual symptoms of aging were reversed within a week. People regained flexibility in their fingers, had improved eyesight, and so on, because they were younger in 1959 and they were receiving the same mental information that they had at that time. Their bodies responded accordingly. Now, this leads to an amazing conclusion. What we know as chronological age can be reversed. Wow. Actually, I have Langer's whole experiment on my computer. If anybody wants a copy, just let me know. I'll send it to you. Mind over matter. Mind over matter. We've heard that for years, haven't we? It's true. Mind over matter. Carolyn Mace wrote about a young boy who had a tumor in his brain, and he was not expected to live. So what this young boy did, was he envisioned an army of planes and pilots in his head. In fact, he even had a command center that he envisioned in his head. The pilots would fly their planes over this tumor and drop bombs and destroy it bit by bit. So the boy continued his vision of this until one day he told his mom, the tumor is gone. And the test showed that the tumor was gone. Quantum powers. So what does this mean for all of us? Well, I think we all want a world where all people, all beings, and Mother Earth, are happy and provided for and loved, right? Our world is a reflection of our collective consciousness. Therefore, we must change the collective consciousness if we are to change the world. We change the collective consciousness one individual at a time. And so that's why it's so important, and that's why you hear me say so many times, we have to raise our consciousness. Because when we raise our consciousness, that helps others raise their consciousness, and there will come a time, I think they call it the 100th monkey, okay, that's going to tip the other way. It's going to, in fact, it's almost here. It's almost here. We're very close. So our goal is to change ourselves, not our world. The world will follow. So until we change ourselves, no matter what we do, the world only reflects our collective consciousness. So when we understand the quantum powers that we are endowed with, and we begin to reach into those powers to change our minds, then we change our lives. And then we see the change in the world. Now, this change for ourselves includes letting go of the past darkness, the unforgiveness we tend to hold on to, that inner hygiene that we talked about last month, clean it up. It means seeing ourselves as amazingly divine, powerful beings, because that's what we are. It means letting go of all thoughts of unworthiness. You are worthy by just your existence as a divine being. I'm trying to think of what Tara Brach said. Yes, instead of looking at the behavior, look at the wound so that we can help people who are in fear. So in other words, that's how we can help others, by not judging them, but looking at their wound and helping them with that. So that just popped in. That was an aside. But anyway, it means creating a future that we want, because we can do it right now. Time is irrelevant, right? We can do it right now. We just proved that, right? So it means helping others to learn how to take back their power, as I said. And when we do this, it speeds up the process by helping each other. Well, back in this relative dimension that we're in, time is critical right now, where we are. Okay, and that's why we have to go beyond it and bring that power back down here. So that's why I have been sharing all this with you for all these weeks. We've suffered enough. We've got to get over this suffering, but we have to do it ourselves. And this is how we can do it. I just hope that in my lifetime I can see this change of the collective consciousness so that the world in front of us is one of abundance and happiness and people being loved and cared for. Remember that all things are possible, and when we use our quantum powers, they become probable. From possible to probable. So our potential is bigger than our problems. Keep that in your mind. Your potential is bigger than your problems. Our potential is bigger than our problems. And that's what we want to reach for, is our potential, and bring that into our world. So I'm going to end with this question for you to really ponder deeply. What if I truly believed in myself and my innate powers? How would my life change? Ask yourself that. Yeah. Oh, let's take a deep breath, maybe, and go into a moment of meditation. You know, find that wonderful meditation seat. Get very relaxed. And just breathe. And just breathe. Bring that life force within your body. Fill your lungs and your tummy with that life force. For that life force is only love. And now envision light flowing into the top of your head, filling your head. And as you breathe in, that light gets brighter and brighter. As you breathe out, that light moves into the other cells of your body. And that light moves down your body, all the way down. And it goes through your feet into Mother Earth. And Mother Earth reciprocates and sends her unconditional love up into your body. And you are balanced. You are grounded in this physical world that we're in. And you are supported always, always by the divine light, that quantum field, which is our true essence. And as you allow this love and this light to fill you, know that you are being healed and cleansed and blessed by this truth. And use this meditation especially whenever you may feel down. For it is a powerful healing process that will raise your consciousness. And you can raise your consciousness to a dimension where fear, suffering, illness, and all of those things that comes from fear cannot exist. They cannot exist there. So just sit with that light and that love within you for just a moment of silence. So envision your light dissipating all darkness. And know that the darkness cannot touch the light. So let's take a deep, deep breath. Release it. Bring our focus back to this beautiful sanctuary. Thank you very much for being here. That must be God calling, don't you think?
It's a nice tune. We do have time for a little bit of a conversation. So.
What is that?
Donna,
Yes.
what I've received from your wisdom today is the reason to let all the psychotherapy I have done in my life be.
Mm.
If they're not stuck in time, then I now can see that I can change the things that happened that made me ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da. That's incredible, thank you.
Yeah. I mean, if I can sing, you can do that.
Yeah,
Yes, everybody can
yeah.
do anything they want if I can sing, okay?
yeah, right.
Yes. Thank you, JC.
Donna, I just wanted to comment on when you said, I hope I live long enough to see the change. My feeling is the change is happening. What I need to do is look for that change in myself and in other people because it's there. It's
It is
happening.
there. Yes,
Yeah.
it is. Yes. Thank you, Connie.
Donna, I wished everybody in the whole world could hear your sermon today. I really do.
Thank you.
And I am so grateful for it. Some of you who have been on committees with me or, well, say maybe the board or whatever, know that if I'm criticized or whatever, I have a temper. So I am thinking, and I've never really had a tool for it. I mean, I know I'd like to change that. I know it really isn't effective at all. But I think the going back and redoing it in my heart and my mind is something that I really appreciate that.
Yes.
And the other thing is I'm really glad you brought up Hildegard of Bingen because she is one of the most essential persons in our whole being, and most of us have never heard of her. She was a scientist, she was everything, way beyond her time.
Yes.
But even if she were alive today, she wouldn't be behind the times.
Oh, no.
So, talking
Yeah.
about time. So, again, thank you very much. I'm extremely grateful. I think some people might have trouble with a couple of the words like quantum, but heck, just change it to what you can accept.
Absolutely.
And do what is right for you.
Yes.
Thank you
Yeah.
again.
You're welcome. Yeah, we must remember that this creator of everything does not care what you call it. It has absolutely no human emotions about that, okay? So you call it whatever you feel comfortable with within you. Yes.
There's a wonderful YouTube video that is a PBS Nova documentary documenting the current findings of quantum physicists from MIT whose purpose is to define what is our reality. And they've by math and experiment what Einstein proved only by math 100 years ago. Couldn't understand what he was saying. We couldn't understand it and called it spooky actions at a distance.
Yeah.
That our reality is an illusion, we privilege it, and there's a hologram here in space called Susskind's hologram, and we're down here on Earth privileging the hologram and individually and collectively creating our reality.
Exactly. Yes, thank you, thank you. Yes. It's exciting, I think. Isn't it exciting to know that you can create your reality, your life? I think that's the most exciting thing in the world. Oh, well, anyway, I'm going up now, so I'll come back.
I'm going to put you on the spot.
Okie dokie.
All God's critters got a place in the choir. So would you sing from
Oh.
You I Receive to us?
No, but I'll sing my other song.
Okay.
You really want to hear my song? I see the moon sees me. The moon sees the one I long to see. So God bless the moon and God bless me, and God bless the one I long to see. Skidamarinka-dinka-dink, skidamarinka-doo, I love you. Skidamarinka-dinka-dink, skidamarinka-doo, I love you. I love you in the morning and in the afternoon. I love you in the evening and underneath the moon. So, skidamarinka-dinka-dink, skidamarinka-doo, I love you.
Donna, I think you need to be here next Sunday for our sermon on humor and get us all to sing that. Thank you.
That was awesome. Well, please join us in singing In the Presence of Your Love.
Amen. All our best laid future plans are built on clouds in fairyland, while all we've gathered in our hands dissolves like castles made of sand. We strain and strive as best we can to make the world meet our demands. Come close of day, our profits stand at best, a flash in an empty pan. I wanna live in the presence of your ever-living love. For yesterday has passed away, leave tomorrow for another day. In the living present, let me always stay in the presence of your love. Our actions made in ignorance of laws of truth and consequence. We think that subsequent events occur as random accidents. You'd think it would be common sense by making an experiment. Like a dog with an electric fence, we'd learn from our experience. I wanna live in the presence of your ever-living love. For yesterday has passed away, leave tomorrow for another day. In the living present, let me always stay in the presence of your love. If our entire life is spent in making great accomplishments, to find they're just entanglements of karma, it's too late to repent. In view of this predicament, if we are more intelligent, we'll seek a path that's different to end our long imprisonment. I wanna live in the presence of your ever-living love. For yesterday has passed away, leave tomorrow for another day. In the living present, let me always stay in the presence of your love. And in the end, our whole lifespan is measured by the second hand. Like the season of the snow made man, it ends as soon as it began. But by God's grace we'll understand our life and death are in His hands. Then may we follow heaven's plan to love and serve our fellow man. I wanna live in the presence of your ever-living love. For yesterday has passed away, leave tomorrow for another day. In the living present, let me always stay in the presence of your love. In the presence of your love, in the presence of your love. Thank you.
Thank you, Sean. That was wonderful. In closing, remember that certain aspects of quantum physics suggest that all possible futures are here, right now, for you, and that we stand at the crossroads at which we can select from one. I would like us all to stand for the fire extinguishing here, and please join our hands together as we would while we're singing Go Lift It Up. So please join hands. However you can, however that works out. Awesome. Become aware of the hands that you are holding, their warmth, texture, and weight. As an infant, these same hands reached out for the nourishment of milk. As a child, these hands shakily wrote a name on paper for the first time. These hands have wiped away tears, clenched in anger, waved hello and goodbye countless times, and embraced loved ones. And now these hands are the tangible link that connects us to one another. Look and see those around you who have experienced so much that is life. These hands have worked, are working, and will work to make the world a better place. Go in peace. Go in love. Work for justice. Go forth and bless this world, and join me in singing Go Lift It Up.